So trust in yourself, trust your education, trust your foundation. You graduated for a reason, and this board exam is just to really test whether or not you're ready to be practicing nursing or not. That's just it. Hey, what is up? Welcome to the Endorsement, and it's your host, Nurse Reg, and I'm here to talk about anything and everything about nursing so that I can pass it on to you so that you can become a better nurse. Tara, endorse na tayo. Let's move. So if you're in the Philippines and you just recently graduated from the School of Nursing of whatever school you're from, you're probably preparing for the board exam this November. And this November 16 and 17, right? As I was scrolling down through my Twitter feed, I was just looking for ideas to maybe create a video about. And one of my friends, Maya, sent me this tweet, and she told me about, oh, you should make a video about the board exam and tips and tricks. At first, I was very hesitant and reluctant to actually do a video about that because I had this plan of making this video in the future, when maybe next board exam or maybe next November, when I would have more ideas and more concrete examples to give. But I remember when I was in their situation, about to take the board exam, I was like a sponge. I wanted to learn everything and anything that is out there for me to learn, especially in the days prior to the exam. And I just placed myself in that position and I said, why not? Let's just make a video about it. Let's go. Here are 9 tips that I can tell you guys you can do before the board exam, days prior to. So I'm making this video around 11:11. Instead of shopping on Lazada and Shopee, I'm here making this video. Let's go. Priorities. I hope these tips and tricks help you. So let's start with number one. So I want you to take a minute, take 15 seconds, take 10 seconds, and just pause. I want you to sit still, close your eyes, and breathe. As student nurses, as nurses, we always tell our patients to perform deep breathing exercises. As a teacher of those exercises, we don't do it ourselves. So I want you to take a moment, whether that be a minute, whether that be 15 seconds of your time, or just 10 seconds. I just want you pause, take a deep breath, and exhale. Again, take a deep breath. Breathing. So I'm telling you to breathe right now. Why? Because for people that have anxiety, who are worried, who are put in a position where you feel like you have no control, performing deep breathing exercises and taking a brief moment of your time, of your day, just to breathe, it helps. It helps calm your nerves down. Especially you're gonna be having 2 days of answering 500 questions. Total of at least 300 in the first day and another 200 on the second day. That's pretty daunting. I mean, you feel like after you answer those 500 questions, it's either make or break. The board exam is 2 days, and you have to answer 100 questions about a certain topic, whether that be community nursing, whether that be maternal nursing, and every 100 questions is a different topic. It was actually a mixture. It wasn't a set thing. Like if test 1 was about community health nursing, it was not just community health nursing. It had different aspects. It had fundamentals, it had med surg, it had pedia concepts. It was a mix, and it threw us off in a way. But then it was the exam, and that's what the Board of Nursing gave to us, and we just had to roll with it. So my first tip, if you didn't understand anything from what I just said, is to breathe. I want you to take a moment, breathe. When you sit down on your chair, breathe. Take a deep breath. Just put yourself in the moment and realize that, hey, you got this. You got this, man. Just breathe. Calm your nerves down so that you can answer those questions in a calm manner. And you need that anxiety. You're gonna be anxious the whole exam, but let that fuel you, and don't let that bother you too much. Number 2. Okay, so after you calm yourself down, I want you to understand. After the 4 years, the 5 years, the 6 years that you've been studying nursing, I want you to understand that, hey, I want you to believe in yourself. The belief in oneself will carry on throughout your life, and it is the best foundation that you're ever gonna have in your life. Once you believe in yourself, the belief from others will follow. Sure, I had my dad, I had my mother, I had my brother supporting me all the way throughout the exam, and throughout my review process, and throughout my whole nursing career. And some of you might not have that, and some of you might have that even more. But the belief in yourself will always be constant. You have to understand that you are the one taking the test, not your mother, not your father, not your brother, not your friends, not your instructor. It's you. You're taking the board exam. You're the one who's going to take your seat, answer 500 questions, and pass the board exam, man. You're going to get that license for sure. So I want you to understand that after those 4 years, those educational years, that is enough. You have studied nursing enough. When I was answering the questions and just concepts from first year to second year to fourth year, they just kept popping back in my head. I remember answering a question and something that my clinical instructor or my professor at that time was talking about that specific topic, and that just popped in my head. And damn, when I looked at the 4 choices, this is the question and this is the answer, because I remember clearly that this is how the flow of that lecture was going through. So trust in yourself, trust your education, trust your foundation. You graduated for a reason, and this board exam is just to really test whether or not you're ready to be practicing nursing or not. That's just it. The hard thing about that here in the Philippines is that if you don't pass the board exam, everybody's gonna know whether or not you passed or not. Everybody's gonna know. So of course that's that societal pressure, but then I want you to understand that, hey, this is for your betterment, and this is for your career growth. This is for your personal growth, and I want you to focus on yourself and not on others. This is you taking the exam and not them. Okay? Believe in yourself, because I believe in you. You're gonna pass the board exam, and I believe in you. Just take it. You got it, man. Let's go. Number 3, I believe that in the past few months you've been reviewing, and I want to talk about routine. You have to be constant in whatever you're doing, whether that be waking up early, whether that be going to class, whether that be drinking that cup of water early in the morning, whether that be drinking coffee every day. And I want you to understand that having a routine will be your structure throughout your whole review process, and will be throughout you taking the, not throughout, but it will be a big help for you when you're taking the board exam, because you're set, you're not thinking about it, it's already programmed in your head, programmed in your body, that you're just doing it every day. And make that something, just continue your routine, whatever you've been doing. Number 4, food. For sure, some of you are stress eaters. I was one of them. I ate throughout my whole review process, and all I did was eat, sleep, review, repeats. And it's crazy because my gala uniform couldn't fit me anymore. I felt like you feel the buttons like fighting, like hanging on to each other, man. And even my pants, my zipper would randomly just open because I gained some weight, man. And sure, that's how our coping mechanisms come into play. And I hope that when you're eating something healthy. You're fueling your body, you're fueling your brain to function in a way that you still want to keep information in your head. And to do that, you need your glucose, you need your protein, you need your carbohydrates, you need every single nutrient that you can. Take your vitamins, but make sure in the week before the exam you're not eating any of the spicy foods, you're not eating foods with a lot of spices. you're checking every food that make sure that they're not expired. Bottom line is that you're not eating food that will make you poop, like have diarrhea 3 days before the exam. That's gonna be so hard. You're taking the exam and every 5 seconds you want to go to the CR. You can do that, but remember it's gonna be a time bound exam, and every second, every minute that you're taking the exam will count. So these next few days, eat healthy foods and eat non-gastric irritant foods. Yep, I guess that helps you. Just eat. I don't condone eating. I don't condone stress eating. Just do what your body has been telling you to do, whether that be eating full meals or whether that be eating meals that just help you stay full for the time being, you know. Number 5, in connection to the previous one, drink water. Drink your H2O. Drink water, man. Just hydrate yourself. I always, when I was going through my review, I would always have my 1 liter of water to last me the whole day, and I would refill that. I would refill that in the different parts of the day, and I would stay hydrated. Sure, I would be going to the CR most of the time, but you know, staying hydrated while you're in such a stressful time of your life, it's gonna help you because your body needs water to function also. Once you're having good nutrients, once you're staying hydrated, your body is okay to accept the information. Your brain's gonna be well nourished, and in a way, it's gonna help you review better. You know, staying healthy is the key, man. Staying healthy. Number 6. This might be controversial to some of you. Me and my friends, before the board exam, we booked a apartment. We were 5 of us in one apartment because we knew that we couldn't trust ourselves with the alarm clock that we would set prior to the date or on the day itself of the exam. We knew that we needed somebody to wake us up, and whether or not some of you might just be boarders here in wherever you're going to be taking the board exam, and having somebody to wake you up on the day of the exam helps. And we just did that so that we can also review previously before the 2 days prior to the board exam. We would still bounce our ideas, ask questions to each other, try to figure out if one of us understood the topic that we were on, and you know, just figuring out what we had, just polishing whatever we already knew. Having your friends around you may either be a good thing or a bad thing, whether or not they're helping you in your process of learning the concepts and stuff. And so if they're good for you, like they were good to me, stay with them. It really helps having that support system also in play. Number 7, when you're answering questions that are tossed to you and you don't know the topic at all, focus on your test-taking strategies. Just use your test-taking strategies, whether that be process of elimination, odd man out. You find keywords in the question, see whether or not if it's pertaining to a specific answer. You know, just do that. I don't know how to explain it, but just do that. Just test-taking strategies is always your fallback. I remember them asking us. There was this one question about the CSR, the Central Supply Room, and I was like, how? We never studied anything about the Central Supply Room. When are we going to be restocking certain items in the stock room, in the Central Supply Room? And that was a question out of nowhere, and I just had to figure it out, just whether that be by logic. I did it by process of elimination. If this one didn't fit the other questions, maybe that's the answer. You know, but by the end of the day, you're just gonna be picking an answer. You're just gonna have to go with it. Don't take too much time on one question. Some of the questions that we had were very long and really hard for us because specific questions had grammar. Like the grammar was very particular, and the vocabulary in the specific questions were very hard to understand, and the context, it was very hard to understand, but you just had to really pick an answer in those questions, because those questions come out of like after you answer questions that you have answers to, you know. I don't know, like that. Number 8, believe in whatever you believe in and follow through with it, whether that be praying to your gods, whether that be poking the universe enough so that it can manifest into existence, whether that be asking your previous top-notchers from your school or previous top-notchers from your review center to sharpen your pencil. Do it. Whether that be going out buying some red underwear, red panties, red briefs, red socks, red everything, do it. It was actually my first time to really like hear about these superstitions and beliefs about taking the board exam. Like you have to kick your chair and don't look back once you're done with the exam, or once you find your seat, take a minute, just sit down and just have 5 seconds of silence, you know, just like an offering. I don't know. And there's also been like asking your instructors to sharpen your pencil, asking a previous top-notcher to sharpen your pencil, all of that, you know. And the funniest one was you usually have to kick your chair, right? And then there's one time after the exam, there was this guy behind me, like he took it to a whole nother level, man. Instead of just kicking the chair, he actually took the chair, put it down, and just walked away. And I was like, man, this guy's crazy. But you know, if that's what you believe in, go. By the end of the day, it's all psychological. It's all whether or not that helps you. Because after you take the board exam, after those 2 days, you're gonna go crazy. You're gonna go, you know, you're gonna be so anxious about the results, and you know, just hope and just believe that you did your best, that you gave it your all, and you did everything that you could have done. And you know, you just leave it up to the universe to either grant your wishes of becoming a registered nurse or not. But you are gonna pass for real, right? Yes. Number 9, don't be afraid to ask questions. That's what your examiners and your proctors are for. They usually tell you never erase, never make a mistake in your scantron, right? Is that how it's called? In your scantron, where you're writing your answers. Never make a mistake. That was always embedded in our heads, man. When it came to the board exam date, I sat down. They gave us the papers. They were giving instructions. I was writing down my name, and I was like, oh no. I was rechecking my name, and I spelled my name wrong. I was like, oh no. The test hasn't started yet. I'm gonna fail this already. And of course, I'm a person that asks questions, so I just like, ma'am, I need help. I was like, I thought I was over. I was gonna get kicked out or something, man. I spelled my name wrong, ma'am, and what can I do? I was about to cry, man. Just the emotion, just the feel of, oh man, this is it. I'm done for. No, man. After that, we were able to resolve the problem. Your proctors are. I was thankful that our proctors was very helpful. They actually helped us, and they actually helped me in figure out what I can do, and it wasn't the end of the exam for me. So after that, it was good. Everything was good. After that scare, I just woke up, you know, like the universe is in line with everything, man. Today is the day I'm gonna pass the board exam, man. Let's go. After that, it was just crazy, man. Crazy. So yeah, just don't forget to ask questions when there's an instruction that you didn't understand. Forget about what other people say. You're gonna be zoning in. You're gonna lock eyes with your proctor and say, ma'am, I need help. Ma'am, can you explain that? Ma'am, can you please help me? I don't wanna fail the board exam because of technicalities, man. So just ask when it is possible. Okay, so don't be afraid. That's what your proctors and your examiners are for. You gotta prepare yourself. In all honesty, I wasn't even sure I was gonna pass the board exam. Nobody's ever sure that they passed the exam. After each test, you come out of your classroom and then you either chat with your friends, you chat with your different schoolmates or your test takers, different test takers too, and you're gonna be tempted to be comparing answers or comparing questions or asking each other what are the things that, what did you answer to this one, what did you answer to that one. I tried not to do that because you know that either boosts your morale or it just lowers the morale of your friends or your other test takers. I tried to refrain from comparing our answers, but I just couldn't, man. So I still did. I asked questions. What did you answer to this one? What did you answer? And you could see, and oh man, everybody just did not know. And you know, it's just giving it your all, man. You're only taking this board exam once, right? And you just have to prepare for the worst and be thankful for the best. You know? It's always a 50-50 game. You either pass the board exam or if you didn't. Don't worry if you didn't pass the board exam, you can always retake it. There's always a process. This is not the end for you. This is not the end of your registered nurse journey. This is not the end of that. This is just a bump, and I hope that you're gonna be able to pass your next tape. And if you do pass the board exam, like you will, I'm proud of you. And I hope that this actually will help you, maybe boost your confidence. I hope that my tips were helpful. I hope they were. And in the future, I'll make a longer video for this so that it can help others too. Thank you for everybody that's supported the last video. The last video went up and it got up to like 300 views in one day and added like 25 to 26 subscribers just in one day, and I'm amazed and I'm fully thankful and fully grateful for everybody's support with this channel. And I hope you continue to like this video so that everybody else can see this. It helps in the YouTube algorithm. Comment below what were the specific tips that you feel like are very helpful to you, or if you're already watching this after, what were the tips that you wish you knew. Let's just start a conversation downstairs in the comment section, and I'll make sure to reply to every one of them. Subscribe, and if you're not yet subscribed, press the subscribe button and click that notification bell so that you can be updated with other videos I'll be uploading in the near future. It's your host, Nurse Reg, signing off. Thank you guys.